This is my game Bunk. The goal is to climb as high as you can by jumping from platform to platform. The player also has access to a double and a triple jump, which costs them some fuel, as can be seen on the side. First enemies start to appear, which can be shot and killed, and notably, when the player runs on platforms, can be jumped on to keep on progressing. The player uses this fuel and can regain it with pickups such as these, which give 25% each. Some enemies will occasionally drop pickups, trinkets as we call them, which are one-time consumables which have a myriad of uses. The grenade, for example, explodes and kills enemies around you. The mirror can be used to reflect your shots. If the player gets fuel while above a certain threshold, they are rewarded with a super jump. Trinkets, while generally useful, are designed to solve specific problems the player might face, such as movement or different threats the enemies can pose. The portal trinket can be used to teleport to the location that you hit. Here we are introduced to our first shooter enemy. This shakes up the gameplay, as enemies up until this point have only been melee. By staying far away from the player, it makes it harder to manipulate the platforms to an advantageous position, while also posing a threat from afar. Here we see that threat get the better of me, and I become overwhelmed and unfortunately die. Here we have another run, this time using the machine gun. Should go a little bit better than the first one. Right off the bat, I'm trying to go a bit faster. I'm trying to show off how, with some skill and understanding, these early sections can be really blown through. Though you'll notice that I tend to use a lot more fuel when trying to go faster. This shouldn't be too much of a consequence, as it's designed so that players can feel free to use their resources in the sections that they know that they can beat and won't be punished too hard in the long. Generally, I tend to give a lot of extra resources, though try to cap it, such as by having 3 health, so that if a player is in a situation they wouldn't be able to overcome, they can't stockpile resources for it. As we start to get higher and see more of these shooter enemies, the bullet hell mechanics start to really come into play. It starts to really take on that dynamic. And at score 10,000, we're introduced to the very first boss. Our musician worked really hard on this track, and I think it's the best of the game so far. I think the boss fights have a lot to offer in this mechanic. Typically, boss fights try to utilize a lot of the enemies, but they tend to be a bit of a distraction. Here, the enemies are both a danger and a resource, as they're the only way that the player can get away from the boss. This boss gets faster over time, and until the player does a certain amount of damage, at which it resets and slows back down, and takes on this damaged form. This boss fight was designed to test the player's skills and speed. If the player was previously going too slow and able to not be challenged by some of the fights earlier, this boss will make sure that they have that skill. And here we get through it. Past the boss, we do have some more content, but lacking in art. Only the stuff before the boss is fully finished, though we're still missing some art for UI and menus, as you can tell. Thanks for watching.